What's up, y'all? It's Jonathan Rollins here to update you on the latest from this father-son trip across the U.S. with me and my boy Bash. Hey, everybody. Now we're on to the Virginia Beach leg of the trip. It began with our drive down to Virginia Beach, and now it's not just Bash and me. Sandra and Alli are with us. It's a short drive too, so 5 hours is half of what we're normally doing. So this was gonna be a test of the longer drive that we have in front of us. We get to dip our toe in the water as a full family in the camper van. But the drive went well, smooth. Alli and Bash hanging out in the back. Bash finally had some company. I had some company up front. We listened to some podcasts. We stopped more than normal because the two new members of the crew are not road warriors like Bash and myself. It was fun having everybody back together and just talking with Sandra. She's my best friend. It's nice talking to her. And a lot of time we reminisced on our good times we spent with our friends that we were going to see in Virginia Beach. We hadn't seen them in about 5 years or so. We were greeted at the hotel with a welcome basket. That was cool. We got there, had the basket with some random stuff in there because that's how my boy Bobby does. Shout out to Bobby. There was air freshener in there, snacks for the kids, water, almond milk, and there was also a can of pork and beans, which sounds pretty insignificant, but that can of pork and beans have been passed around between us since the early 2000s. We used to sneak stuff in each other's carts and stuff like that. This can of pork and beans, we would pass between myself, Bobby, and our boy Adam over time. And now the same can was here in front of me with an expiration date in 2012. We got ready quickly. We just wanted to get with our friends, so we dropped everything off and we took an Uber over to Bobby's house. Finally get to see my boy after so long. Had some drinks as we do. The kids, I don't know if their feet hit the ground at all. They flew into the pool, Bash and Alli. They are some pool-loving kids. Right away, just swimming in the backyard. And while Bobby and I were talking and catching up, it's really 20 years ago since we met. That's insane that I'm so damn old. I was hitting it off with my little play nephew, Ike Billy. Shout out to you, Isaac. I hadn't seen him in a few years, and it was nice to see. He's growing up into a nice young man, and he's looking out for his little play cousin Bash, showing him around and being such a kind and generous friend to my son. It was good to see. It reminded me of how Bobby looked out for me when I first got to Anchorage, Alaska. This kid from Miami in Anchorage, Alaska, not knowing anybody, and he really looked out. Same way this next generation was looking out for each other. Great. We took some shots. I hadn't really been taking shots like that in a while. It was cool to get back into the shot game. Thankfully, my superpower is I don't get hangovers, so I was like, bring them on. And then we went home to prepare for the next day, which was a trip to Ocean Breeze. I had been to Virginia Beach a lot, but we never went to the water park, and it's probably because we haven't had families like this. This was like a family trip. Bobby and his family had rented a cabana for us. We had this big cabana with a nice fan in there and some television and refrigerator and all of that good stuff to protect us from the hot sun, give us a place of refuge in the middle of this wonderful park. It reminded me a lot of the park that we were at in South Dakota, Wildwater West, except for I didn't see cabanas there. They had the lazy river, they had the cool slides, they had the wave pool and all of that. The wave pool there though at Ocean Breeze was a real wave pool. And the older kids, Bryce and Isaac, they all looked out for Bash and Alli. It was cool to just watch Bash kind of ditch us and just hang out with the kids and go have some fun while we lounged in the cabana and watched them maybe not float by. They weren't taking it easy in the lazy river. They were the most energetic lazy river participants there. So they're just bouncing around in the lazy river, and we can see them when they pass our cabana. Bash was getting on slides with Isaac. I was hopping on the slides too. We were all having a good time and ordering drinks and catching up. Once we got home from the park, we got cleaned up, rested a little bit, and then it was time to go get some food. And we had some amazing food at a restaurant near the beach. They were shocked we hadn't been there before. We might have, but all my memories in Virginia Beach are blurry. I alluded to it earlier. I'm getting old, I'm sorry. But I don't remember being there before. The place was popular. We waited for 45 minutes to get our seat. And while we waited, we got some nice drinks and talked a bit, had some fun. And then we got inside, and realized it was well worth the wait. The food was fantastic. Great wings, great seafood. The shrimp, the fried shrimp was banging. Even the broccoli I had was good. And then from there we went back to the hotel, got some rest, got up in the morning and had some brunch. There's this place called the Bee and Biscuit that we checked out for brunch. It's a serious brunch location. And they have valet parking because it's such a popular place. And it was another 45-minute wait. We were going to some popular places. And I'm glad of it because I had a couple of banging Bloody Marys there at the Bee and Biscuit. And I'm not being paid by the Bee and Biscuit to say these things. So that's how you know it's true. I had some shrimp and grits that was, And they said it was award winning. And I was like, okay, sure. Ate it, and then I wanted to create an award to give them because it was so good. And of course I added the extra lobster, highly recommended. They had some biscuits that came out, different flavors. The brunch was just fantastic. I watched Isaac destroy the big biscuit. I was proud of him. And even beforehand, Alli was playing a little Connect 4, his giant Connect 4 they had because they know people are gonna be waiting, so they have things to entertain you while you wait. Shout out to Kim's Bronco. Bobby's wife Kim has a nice Bronco. I hadn't been in the new Bronco. I've always liked Broncos. There was one Bronco that I saw in the parking lot there at the Bee and Biscuit that had a license plate that said not OJ on the white Bronco. Good sense of humor there, person with that vehicle. And then we left from there, got the kids ready for the party later on that day. All the family and friends that I know from my many years of knowing Bobby came through to see us. That was really nice. Bobby and Kim's parents were there and all of the friends. Shout out to all the friends that came through that we've hung out with over the years. Even had the old military homie David came through. We used to hang with him back in Alaska. My boy Ken actually came through one night when I hung out with Bobby and we all had drinks together. And it was just cool catching up with everybody. And it feels like we just take off right from where we left. And that's how it should be with friends. And that was why this leg of the trip was so important. I know I sound like an alcoholic, but we drink a lot, okay? And I'm not ashamed of it, all right? I was with my friends and I felt safe and I indulged. It's such a great time, a good final night in Virginia Beach to make jokes with everybody, catch up with people that I miss and I love and appreciate. I'm glad we got to do that together. Early in my relationship with Sandra, when she came out to visit me for the first time in the US, was at around Christmas time, 2005. She brought in the New Year with me. I was stationed in North Carolina, and that was only a 3-hour drive down to Virginia Beach. So I brought in 2006 with this Swedish girl that I liked. It was the first New Year we brought in together, and it was with these people that we were partying with again. And it just all basically came full circle. I'm so glad that we got to do that. I have to make sure that I come back and do it again sooner than this. There shouldn't be 5 years between seeing each other. So I gotta make it happen. That was my takeaway from the whole thing. These are the family that I chose as opposed to the family that I was given. And the family that you choose, man, you gotta take care of them too. So gotta make sure to come through and do this again. It's always a great time. And they really looked out for us. So we bid everyone farewell, headed back to the hotel to pack up and prepare for that next leg. Because now we're going to Miami. Well, not quite Miami. We have to drop off this camper van that's been part, like it's a new family member for me. This is another family member that I chose, the camper van. We've made it full circle. There were times when I was worried, like this van with over 200,000 miles on it, is this gonna make it around the US? We've driven another 6,000 miles together. Will it make it all the way back to Orlando? Stay tuned, we'll see. Until then, take care of yourselves. And I will see you on the next leg of Bash and Daddy's road trip across the USA. Peace.